For decades, the transformation of Michael Jackson from the young lead singer of the Jackson 5 into the pale-skinned icon of the 1990s fueled a media firestorm of speculation, ridicule, and flat-out misinformation. Tabloids screamed headlines about skin bleaching and a man who supposedly wanted to be white. The public was presented with two extreme narratives: a tragic figure ashamed of his race, or a brilliant artist carefully crafting a new, ethereal image. But as with most enduring mysteries, the truth is not found in sensationalism but in the gritty, uncomfortable details of medical reality. To understand what happened to Michael Jackson's skin, we must first strip away the mythology and look at the clinical facts, then examine the psychological war he fought against a body that was literally turning on itself. The most critical, and often overlooked, starting point is the official record. After Jackson's death in 2009, the Los Angeles County coroner released a detailed autopsy report. Under the section describing external examination of the body, the report explicitly noted the presence of vitiligo. It described patches of light and dark pigmented areas. This was not a rumor or a publicist's excuse. It was a forensic observation. Vitiligo is an autoimmune disorder in which the body's own immune system attacks and destroys melanocytes, the cells responsible for producing skin pigment. The result is unpredictable. Porcelain-white patches appear on different parts of the body. For someone with a naturally dark complexion, this contrast can be psychologically devastating. Jackson first publicly mentioned the condition on the Oprah Winfrey Show in 1993, but few believed him. The autopsy proved he was telling the truth. The question that remains is not if he had vitiligo, but how he managed a condition that, for a global superstar, was a logistical and emotional nightmare. However, the clinical reality of vitiligo rarely leads to a uniform, all-over white complexion on its own. In most individuals, like the supermodel Winnie Harlow, the condition remains patchy for a lifetime. It spreads, but slowly, and the untreated skin retains its original melanin. So, if Michael Jackson was not bleaching his skin for cosmetic vanity alone, how did he achieve that consistent, pale look in the 1990s? The answer lies in a medical decision that is extreme, permanent, and rarely discussed in pop culture. When vitiligo covers more than 50% of the body's surface, as it reportedly did for Jackson in the late 1980s, dermatologists sometimes prescribe a treatment called depigmentation. This involves using a powerful topical cream, most notably a drug called Benequin, monobenzone. This cream does not bleach skin in the cosmetic sense. It kills the remaining melanocytes in the pigmented skin to match the already white patches. It is a form of chemical surrender. Once you begin this process, there is no going back. The result is a total, irreversible loss of skin color, leaving the individual permanently vulnerable to the sun and completely devoid of protective melanin. This medical context reframes everything we see in Jackson's public appearances between 1986 and 1991. Consider the Bad Era. In the famous music video directed by Martin Scorsese, Jackson appears significantly lighter than he did during Thriller*, but not yet ghostly. What is striking, however, is the inconsistency. Candid photos from that time, images taken without studio lighting or stage makeup, show a man whose skin tone fluctuated wildly. This was the ashy or grayish look often caused by early-stage chemical treatments and heavy foundations that oxidized poorly. His longtime collaborator, Quincy Jones, later revealed that during the recording of Bad*, he frequently argued with Michael about pills and skin peels. While Jones suspected vanity, dermatologists point out that chemical peels, along with hydroquinone creams, are standard treatments used to slow the progression of vitiligo and blend the border between dark and light patches. Jackson wasn't just changing his look. He was desperately trying to control a biological process that refused to be hidden. The true turning point, the pivot from treatment to transformation, arrived with the Dangerous album in 1991. Look carefully at the black or white short film. While the song preached racial harmony, the man on screen was almost completely pale. Yet, the devil is in the details observed by crew members on set. In behind-the-scenes footage, one can see makeup artists constantly patting down Jackson's forearms and the back of his hands. Why? Because even after depigmentation therapy, the process is never perfectly even. The elbows, knuckles, and the area around the eyes often retain stubborn patches of brown. To maintain the illusion of a flawless, single-tone canvas, Jackson had to rely on heavy-body makeup. This explains his wardrobe shift in the 90s, the long sleeves, the trousers worn with high socks, the wide-brimmed hats, and the surgical masks. Many critics saw these as eccentric props. In reality, they were functional tools. He was hiding the splashed effect of a disease that was still active. Perhaps the most empathetic evidence comes from his own inner circle, filtered through his family's memories. Jermaine Jackson, in his autobiography *You Are Not Alone*, described a heartbreaking moment during the 2005 trial. He wrote about seeing Michael without makeup or coverings for the first time in years. Jermaine described his brother's torso as a shocking mosaic, a light brown canvas splashed with vast, spreading areas of white, covering his ribs, stomach, and shoulders. He famously remarked that Michael looked like a white man splashed with coffee. This is not the image of a proud bleach user. This is the image of a disease that had destroyed most of his original pigment. Even his ex-wife, Lisa Marie Presley, confided that Michael was so self-conscious about the uneven patches and the white scars on his body that he often slept in full makeup. He lived in a prison of cosmetics, afraid to let his own children see the patchwork reality of his skin.